Well, hey y'all, I am the Backwoods Modeler, and I'm showing you a little bit of my new shop that I am very, very slowly getting put together. You can see I've got a lot of stuff on the wall. It's kind of funny on camera, it doesn't look that much, but there's a lot of crap on that wall. So let's take a little walk. So over here, got TV on, got my favorite movie. Y'all ever seen Moonshine Highway? One of my favorite movies. I highly recommend checking that out. Anyway, over here we have the row of trucks in front of the TV. That is the only thing I have left on eBay. This other row of trucks here, these don't count because they're not on eBay. These are just some of the ones that I've built and haven't messed with. That Dodge in the back, I haven't touched that yet, other than I took the weight off the front of it. And these are trucks that I've built, and they're just sitting around. I'm probably going to use them at some point. So anyway, if you guys are interested, these are what I have left on eBay. When these are gone, there probably will not be any for a long time, mostly because most of the trucks that I'm going to be building now are going to be for me. So I've got, as you can see, most of my trucks out. A lot of these were in storage. You can see some of them have an inch of dust on them. So we got to get all these cleaned up and then figure out which ones I'm going to use, which ones I'm not. Go down through here. This is where I plan to try and do a campground here in the corner. I'd like to do a pond here. The plan is to do a whole running river down through here and then end up with a pond here in the corner. Excuse me, with a little campground around it. Problem is I have way too many excuse me guys. I got way too many campers, so it's going to have to be a small campground because I want it to be a nice sized pond. I want it to look good. So working on trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. Then we come over here, and I've started on my construction company, and man alive, this thing has taken up a lot of space. None of this is how it's going to be yet. It's just what I'm working on. I've decided that I'm going to use white trucks for the business, just because that's what I seem to have the most of. I have had a bunch of yellow ones here, but I've already stripped a couple of them and got rid of a couple of them. So we're still going to use these for something. Just because I built them, I want to use them. I'll get us some nice sideboards on here. So we're going to use those later down the line, just not for this. So anyway, the project we're going to do today is that I don't have a truck set up that will pull that gooseneck trailer. Now, we both know that with that excavator that the flatbed truck I'm going to build probably isn't big enough for it, but this is pretend land. Who cares, right? So, before we go start on that, let's pan over here and I'll show you some more stuff. Here's a garage, this flat stack here. This is a garage that I got off of eBay. I'm going to put that together and set that up. That's going to look pretty good after I get it painted. Here's a garage that I built a while back that is in pretty dusty shape, as you can tell. I got a few stickers and stuff on the inside. Just a little garage that I screwed around and built a long time, about a year or so ago. Then just a few more cars and trucks. And as you can see, I've got a few of those Fanta trucks, and if that's not enough, I got more on the wall up here. Got a couple of them up there. So, and then these two here, these are two of the most dangerous tools in the world, guys. I'm not kidding. These things will cut your fingers off. This is my mini table saw, and when I say mini, now I do have big hands, but that's a mini table saw. That thing, I think it only has a 3-inch blade on it. But that thing is wicked. I really love using that. But it's dangerous. It will cut your fingers off. There's not much of a guard on there. Stick your finger around behind here, you cut it off. This is a mini chop saw. Look how small that blade is. He has like a 2-inch blade or something like that. This thing here, yeah, also kind of dangerous. It will cut your finger off. I've got a makeshift deck on here because I was using it years and years ago to make something. All right, and then the screws over here, and this is where we're going to be working at today. Show you all my hillbilly camera setup here. What do y'all think of that? All right, so let's get into what we're going to build. I'm going to get this thing set up in its holster here, and we'll start filming what we're going to build today. I'll be right back. All right, see if we can get you lined up here a little bit. Now, what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm sticking with the white trucks. Look at this one. Out of the package with a broken mirror. I'm telling you. Luckily for me, it just popped out. So we'll be able to reuse that. And then I wanted to have a flatbed, so we're going to use this 2500 HD. I don't have a 3500. Well, I got this, but I don't have another one in white that I am willing to make into a flatbed. So what we need to do is drill these apart, and I'm not as fast as I used to be, y'all, because I am still learning where I've put everything, so I'm still trying to figure out where everything is. So you got to be a little patient with me here. So I got to drill these out. So I got my drill. I got to drill the rivets out of here, and then we'll work on cutting that. I'm going to go ahead and drill the rivets out of this one too. This way we're all squared away and set up. So give me a minute and I'll cut right back in. All right, so now we got these apart. What we want to do now is we want to cut the bed off of our donor truck, our truck that we're going to use. We'll cut the bed off of it. With this one, these trucks are really tricky to work with. As you can see the way the cab is made. See how the back of this cab is more straight, where this one isn't. Focus. So the problem here is we don't want to cut into the back window, so we need to stay back from the window. Focus. So we're going to cut this kind of right about here at the back where this top is, and then we're going to try to cut it straight down, and we're going to end up leaving part of the step. But once we get the bed on here and get this all figured out, this won't look so bad. You won't notice that so much. But we have to leave part of it. We can't come in here and cut right here where I would normally like to cut it, because that'll cut into the back window. Even though you're not going to see the back window, we don't want to damage any more of it than we have to. So we're going to cut it here, which is going to be like a nice long straight line about almost halfway through that step on both sides. And then if we have to file it a little bit to make it fit the bed a little better, that's what we'll do. But that's where we're going to start. We got to cut this apart. Before I do that, I'm going to take this window out, I think. Maybe I won't. These Ertl trucks, they have the biggest rivets you ever seen, and sometimes they're a pain to drill out. But I think we're going to try and leave the window in this time. All right, guys, I am going to do this cutting, and then I'll be back, because this takes a little bit, especially on this truck, because there's a lot of work. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I got the cab cut. You can see where I cut it at. I got to do a little bit of filing here to get that little nub off of there. The other side turned out a little better. It's a little more straight. I went ahead and I hacked off the fender wells and the front air dam, however you want to call it. So now I'm just about ready to put this thing together. And what I've noticed is, you see how short our front axle is going to be. It's not going to be center. Excuse me. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a donor chassis so that I can use the front of it for this project. So let me go find that, and I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, it didn't take me long to find a donor truck. So we're just going to take this, and we're going to cut this somewhere in the middle to make this work. As you can see, now that I take the bed off of it, slide it on there as far as it'll go, the front axle is just not going to line up. And then plus I need to trim a little bit off of this front windshield here so that it sets down further onto our chassis. I got it upside down. It might help if I put it right side up. Okay, so that's the plan. We're just going to hack this down. Let me decide where I'm going to cut it at, and then I'll come back and show you what I did. Alright, so I've got this cut just about where I need it to be. Got this set on here. Got to hold it because the other bad thing with these Ertl trucks is there's no interior to kind of help you glue stuff to. So that's my other issue that I'm about to have to solve, is what am I going to use in there so that this all lines up correctly. I've got, like I said, I've got this cut where I want it. I just have to glue it all together. I just have to come up with something to put inside. I considered trying to maybe take the interior out of one of my green light trucks, maybe cut the doors off of it. Maybe I can fit that in there, or cut these door flaps off. Sometimes they break off. You play with them enough. I'm gonna shove this in there. We'll just have to make a few modifying hacks, but I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to hack this and push that in there, and then that'll give us some kind of a bottom, something to glue to, because with this hollow cab, now that we've cut this, it's going to make this really tricky to put back together. So let me get that hacked, and I'll try to put it in, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got this cut. What I did is I had to, here, let's show you what take the other one out and I'll show you. We took the doors off, or the side door panels. We took the door panels off, and then I still had to narrow it some, cut it down towards the seats a little bit, and now it fits right in there. It's loose, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off with, I'm going to glue the back seat to the back window. We'll let that dry a little bit, and then once that dries, then we'll determine, because I can already tell, you can see, well, once I get it leveled in there, it's a pain to get it leveled, but once I do get it leveled, you can see there's still a little bit of a gap in there. So I'm probably going to have to put something in there for a shim, and we'll figure that out after this dries, and we'll get it ready. So I'll be back, probably be an hour or two, but you'll never know. Alright, y'all, it's been probably a couple hours now. So I glued that back on there, and then I glued this into here. It actually turned out pretty good. It's almost dead even on both sides. I had to put a lot of extra glue in there. Took me a minute to get it centered. What I should have done is I should have cut the top of the seats a little bit, and it would have lined up better and glued in better. I just didn't want to cut the top of the seats, and I wasn't thinking that these windows on these Ertl trucks are black. You can't even tell there's an interior in there, so I guess it doesn't matter. So now what we got to do is glue this onto here. I don't like the way the frame of the truck is sticking down a little bit past the cab, so we're going to do something to fix that. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding. There's a couple of tabs right here. Is that light on? Yeah, it's on. There's a couple of tabs here that I'm going to cut off with my hobby knife. That'll fix that problem. And then this spot here where this goes down onto the chassis of the truck, it's a little bit proud of everything else, so I'm going to snip the top of that off, and hopefully that'll get it down to where I want it. So this is just real easy to take your cutters and just snip that off. Now it's flatter. We'll cheat, and instead of using my knife, which I should have used because these don't work as well. There we go. Cut those little nubs off. Oop, that one shot me right in the eye. All right, so we got those off now. Let's put this back together now. That's a little better. That should work. I mean, you're going to see a little bit of frame underneath the truck. That's not that big of a deal. That's closer than what it was, so I'm happier with that. And then how are we doing on this side? So I think I forgot to grind down this little nub right here, so I need to do that. I'm going to do that with just my flat file. Drag that across there a few times to flatten it out, and then that should take care of that issue. So let me get the file out. Put this out of the way. We don't need that right now. So let me file this and I'll be right back. All right, so did a little hacking here. I got this to fit pretty daggone good, I think. This is sitting on there pretty good. I wish there was something better we could do with the back of this cab, but this particular model, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. I am going to tighten it up a little bit here, see if I can't get this a little bit closer. See if I can't make that look a little better. This side came out the same. Looks good. Just a little bit closer. I think it'd look better. And then it'll be time. What I did is I did a little hack in here. I took my Dremel and I did a little hack in there to kind of grind that down some. Come on, focus in. Come on. Thank you. So you can see where I was chewing that up with my cutting wheel of my Dremel, just to grind that down a little bit to make this fit on there a little better. So now that we got that on there where we want it, now we got to make the front fit. Now I know it's going to look funny with two different cross members and two different wire crossover pipe or whatever you want to call it, but that's what we got. That's going to line up perfect. All I have to do is do some grinding on this one. You can see it sticks down a lot more than the back does, so we'll have to do some hacking in there. Mostly cut this high spot off of the bottom of this. We'll cut this high spot off and it will make it fit a lot better. And then we'll just about be ready to glue this bad boy together. So give me a minute and I'll be back. All right, so done all of our hacking that we need to do. I had to do a little bit of hacking here in the front also, and then I had to do a little bit of hacking there. What I did is I cut that crossover off the back side so that now there's only one, there's not two there anymore, so make that look a little bit more realistic, not so hacked. So what we're going to do now is start gluing this thing together. As you can see, when I put them together here, we got a little bit of a gap. So what we'll do is we're going to put glue in here on the bottom of the interior now, and then we're going to glue it to the back of the cab. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this together like this. Like I said, it looks crooked. I'm going to wrap some rubber bands around it to keep that part nice and tight. And then I'll set it down on my bench and I'll put a little weight on it to make it push up flat like it's supposed to be. So that's what we're going to do there. So let's get some glue on there. Now you kind of want to be a little generous with the glue in this situation because you don't have a lot of actual real good glue surface in here. So we're going to put a nice little dollop in there because we don't want this baby coming apart. It may not look like a lot, but by the time we get it all started gluing together, you'll never see any of that, so it's not a big deal. Wipe off my Q-tip or my toothpick. Okay, so put the glue cap back on the glue. That stuff dries up fast. So now, the way I like to do it is I got glue on both surfaces here, and I have a lot. So we're going to put it together like this because we don't want the glue oozing out anywhere. So, all right, so now we got that part on there. Everything looks nice and centered. So let me get a couple of rubber bands here. Okay, so now got a couple of a rubber band on there, which is going to hold the bottom nice and tight there for us. So now all we'll do is we'll just set this down on the table, and then we just need something that's going to weight that down. What do I have that's heavy enough to weight that down right here? I don't think that's enough. That's a start, but that's not enough. I need to find something heavy. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to cut back in with you in a minute once I find something heavy enough to put on there. Oh, wait. Maybe I can use one of my batteries. This might be too big though. Oh no. I got her where we wanted her. All right. So we'll let that set and dry for a little while, and then we'll get the front on. Be back. All right, guys and gals, we got her all glued together. I think she's turned out pretty good. Let's peel the rubber bands off of her and see what we got. These rubber bands are great for holding things together, so you're not sitting there for hours holding it or pinching it or whatever. So these I really like. All right, this is what we come up with. It's my, what is this, 23 Chevy? Can't even remember. 2020 Chevy. It's a 2020 Chevy 2500 HD. It's got the new front end. Now we're a flatbed, and we're going to put a gooseneck hitch on there so that I can tow my gooseneck trailer with my equipment on it. So that's what we got, guys. What do you think of that? I think it turned out pretty sweet. Just regular flatbed. I mean, I've built I don't know, dozens of these. I can't say exactly how many, but that's what we got. I'm going to try to come up with something else to go with it. I need more company vehicles, but I don't know what all I'm going to use yet. That one's got a little something in there. So anyway, we're going to build some other stuff. I got to do some garages. I may try to do a building here on the next video for maybe try to build a house or something. But hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on eBay. Y'all have a good day and come back. Bye now.